Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another video. Today we're gonna talk about this really cool experiment that illustrates something called the Marangoni effect. Some researchers at the University of Paris discovered this phenomenon and I think it's pretty cool. Let's take a look and see what's really going on.
They add a drop of alcohol water mixture dyed with a food dye on a bed of sunflower oil. Something cool happens. The tiny droplets form from the main drop radially outwards, and the main drop simply vanishes entirely. Changes in the concentration of alcohol also changes the rate of droplet formation.
This is really fascinating and can be explained with basic fluid dynamics.
In the simplest terms, the surface tension of alcohol is lower than that of water. The surface tension is low at the center and high at the edge of the drop. The difference in surface tension generates a flow from the center radially outwards. Liquid gathers at the edge of the drop, creating a rim. The breakup of this rim results in the ejection of droplets. I'm going to illustrate the Marangoni effect by simply using some water, some pepper and some soap. Soap has way lower surface tension than water, so when we put a drop of soap, the pepper flakes are more strongly pulled by the water molecules at the rim than the soap molecules at the very center. So, the pepper flakes spread out completely. So how does it relate back to the alcohol and water droplet? Doesn't the droplet have uniform concentration? So the concentration is the same everywhere? Initially yes, but eventually some alcohol evaporates from the rim of the droplet and this evaporation sets up a surface tension gradient, just like the soap drop in the water, with a flow occurring from low surface tension to higher. This is what the cross-section of the droplet looks like. Using interferometry, the researchers who discovered this found droplet height was highest in the middle and decreased radially outwards, reaching a minimum short distance from the edge. This is mainly due to surface tension of the droplet trying to achieve minimum area and also partially due to the evaporation of alcohol on the outer rim. As liquid moves towards the outer rim, liquid builds up and the outer rim continues to break off. So I tried to do this experiment at home. I took some food coloring, alcohol mix and sunflower oil. I took a bit of the food coloring and added it to the alcohol mix to make it a bit more visible. Then I took some amount of the alcohol mix and added a big mother drop in the center and some test drops at the side. The control should have a similar behavior as the mother drop.
So this did not at all happen at once. It took me 6 hours to totally film and around 2 to 3 tries to get it correct. So I did it for a number of alcohol mixtures and it took an absolute lot of time.
I was able to record values of droplet radius as a function of time. However, that did not go very well as you can see. But after repeated sessions of data taking and data analyzing and graph plotting, I could finally get results which could follow a certain curve. I then plotted radius of the droplet and time for all alcohol concentration. We can see that larger concentration of alcohol can cause droplets to increase in size with maximum radius growing almost linearly with alcohol concentration. We can then collapse this data set by dividing measurements of radii by the maximum radius and the time by the time it takes by the droplet to completely collapse. Doing this, we can see that all curves have the same essential shape regardless of their alcohol concentration. The apparent similarity of the spreading dynamics makes it likely that the phenomenon of droplet instability is governed by some kind of scaling laws. Researchers who first discovered this phenomenon derived characteristic radius and time as a function of initial alcohol concentration, maximum droplet thickness, initial volume, effective tension, constants of velocity and evaporation, and the critical concentration. In this relation, the slow evaporation of water was neglected, as well as the difference in the density of liquid between the pure liquid and the mixture. Using the constants defined in the associated paper, I was able to determine that Rmax was about 0.28 times the characteristic radius for each mother droplet.
So guys, we saw this really cool phenomenon of a different way of bursting a bubble in water. This is called the Marangoni effect. We're gonna be making another video about the upstream flow and the reverse flow in Marangoni effect. This is all for today. I hope you liked it. See you in the next video.